So, to summarize our statement here, that Leo and myself and Reese and Carlos, we want to do a podcast, but they're too good for us. Leo, Reese, and are too good for us, so we can't do that with them. And yeah, they didn't even send us a message, so it's good to really know where you are, what level you are on planet Earth, like where the higher levels are, so that yeah, so you can work harder to become more higher.
And you know what's funny? I could just imagine Leo. He's gonna just totally downplay it. He's gonna say, "Bro, what are you going on about? I wasn't even thinking about you."
Hmm. I mean, we'll never know because it's never gonna happen again. We have to really work hard. Maybe in a year or two, he can make it happen. But let's change the subject slightly or slowly. Talk about something else. Um, yeah. Sawyer says hi. Dog says hi. Hello, everybody. So Thailand and Cambodia, there's some issues there. That's exciting. Exciting chaos on the planet that's happening. And yeah, we're full swing to the new world way of life. And Donald Trump is doing his Donald Trump stuff. And I'm
Trump
trying,
is out there trumping.
yep. I'm trying to fast or I'm trying to eat better foods, whole foods. I realize now I have a strategy and I want to get less fat because I've been fat. It's the struggles of being fat. If you're fat, you want to lose weight. You don't want to be fat. So that's the struggles of being fat.
How how long? Wait, Shiva. Remember this morning when you said no? Was it this morning where you told me how long you were fasting for?
Let's move on. Let's quickly move on. We don't want to confuse the viewers. So Carlos called me and I was irritable, notably because I've been fasting. And Carlos asked me, so like, why are you like this? I'm like, oh, it's because I'm fasting. And Carlos said, how long have you been
First of
fasting
all,
for?
he sounded like he was dying. First of all, and then so then I'm like, why does he sound like? Okay, you've been fasting. How long have you been?
6 hours.
A
uh,
whole 6 hours he was fasting for, but whatever.
hey,
I
6 hours.
guess when you're just used to eating whatever you want whenever you want.
Yeah,
And then you said you were gonna go eat fruit if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah.
you actually end up eating fruit or did you eat something else?
I did. I ate like 7 to 10 plums, which were delicious. Delicious.
And how many pierogies?
Zero, actually. It's an improvement. Yeah. But fasting is I the reason why I was so angry or like dying is because I thought to myself I have to fast for many days. And just the thought of not eating really devastated me. I'm like, this is gonna suck. Why is my life so miserable? I'm not gonna like this sucks. And then I realized no, I can still eat. But I gotta eat at Whole Foods, not pierogies and burritos and pizza every day. That's the struggles.
Hmm.
Mercil said hi. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're two experts in the field of living on planet Earth. We've lived on planet Earth so well and so great that you can ask us any question and we'll be able to give you an expert advice, especially advice pertaining to your own life. Expert advice, not just simple regular advice. And yeah, we're just here chilling live, relaxing, shooting some hoops. And we had no idea what to talk about, but we're here. We showed up.
We are here. Here we are.
Someone,
Where?
yeah,
Nothing. What? Somebody what?
my friend from a long time ago, he's a Muslim. And I remember asking him many years ago, like, hey, do you know what the Muslims are talking about, this particular thing? And he's like, no, I'm not an extremist. So he reached out to me just a few days ago. He saw our podcast and he's like, hey, I want to talk to this guy, Carlos. Maybe
No
he,
way. Does he really? Please
yeah,
bring him on.
maybe he wants to do a video. I hope. If not, then I guess you can still talk to him just casually. But
Wait, he wants to have a private conversation?
no, that would be stupid. But yeah,
That would
definitely
be
podcast.
silly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Podcast
That's
only.
That's exciting. So if you're a
I would
Muslim,
love that.
yeah,
Keep going.
if you're a Muslim, we challenge you to a podcast, to a debate, even if you're on the chat right now. Let's say hi, and we'll set you up.
Yeah, so the challenge is this. Let's just keep it along the lines of what your friend said. So you said, hey, what do you think about all this stuff? Basically pointing out all the bad things in Islam. And he said, no, 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 that's not me. I'm an extremist, right?
Yeah, yep,
So the challenge is, and the claim is going to be, you're all extremists.
that's a good title for a YouTube video.
Islam is extreme.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and anybody who believes there isn't, all you're doing is just like, you just, what do they call that when like you're an enabler for the extremists.
Yeah. If I don't know about the facts because I haven't read the book, The Imaginary Fairy Tale, but the guy, like some old guy, was sitting in a cave and he hallucinated and somebody whispered, some demons whispered in his ears. And then he decided, I'm going to write a book. And he wrote a book and he's like, trust me, guys, it's God. Oh, we'll just trust you. And we're going to live directly by this book. Whatever it says, doesn't matter what it says. Don't use your brain. Fantastic.
Trust me, guys, it wasn't me that wants all unlimited women and smek slaves and money and power. It was God who told me to get all those things.
Exactly that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And, you know, hearing that is like ridiculous, right? And like, long story short, only like 10 people started following that because, of course, it's so absurd and nonsensical. Only like 10 people. Ha, just kidding. Okay, it's like 1.2 billion. Like, what? Where's our intelligence? What happened? Do we have any brains? Like, what is the human species?
Yeah, so yeah, let's talk about that. I would love for your friend to definitely come on and let's have a conversation about it. I would love that. That'd be great. We could do it by show.
Yes. So Paramount asks us a question. What do you guys believe in? Carlos, what do you believe in? Do you believe in the Tooth Fairy, the Fairy Godmother? Give me some of your beliefs.
So I don't know what I believe in, to be honest with you. I'm gonna just be 100% honest here. I don't know what I fully 100% without a shadow of a doubt believe in, but I like Christianity the most. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Christianity seems to be the strong border wall that's protecting us from lots of things. That's good. And I like Jesus Christ. I like Jesus Christ. He's a good guy.
I like Jesus. That's what I was gonna say. I like Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But my friends,
his story's goated.
A learning lesson or a life lesson for the folks out there is that you don't want to believe things. Believing things means that you're wrong 100%.
Oh God, here we go with this regurgitated nonsense.
Okay.
You know what belief is? Belief is not knowing. Shut up. Listen to me. That's all we got is Shiva. Okay? You know, like, look, bro. We're in a planet Earth. If we stuck to what you said, right? Do you know how boring that would be? Just like, oh, don't believe in anything, just accept reality. Okay. So what's reality? I gotta eat, I gotta shit, I gotta piss. I'm tired, I gotta go to sleep. That's it?
Yeah.
So where does all your Hindu stuff come from, Shiva?
My friend, if you were to just let me finish instead of downplaying my semantics. Belief means you don't know. But what you don't want is belief. What you do want is your own clarity and perception. Okay? You want to see reality for what it is instead of believing shit. I can tell you there was a guy that was living a long time ago and you believe it. Even if it was true, it's still clouding your memory and perception. So just open your eyes and look and use your own intellect.
So like I said, where does your Hindu shit come into play?
Well, from stories. It comes from Kailash, actually, from Kailash.
Oh,
and it's a physical mountain. Got him.
Bruh.
Cornered him. Tricked him. There's no coming back from you.
So let me get this straight. We're not allowed to believe in religion because we quote unquote don't know it, but you're allowed to believe in Hinduism.
There is no believing in Hinduism, first and foremost. There is a mountain, which is a source of all knowledge. It's the most fantastic place on earth. You go there, you'll be blown away.
So you went to a mountain and you felt some feelings, and now you're like, you're
Yes.
so goofy. Somebody
There are
punched this guy in the head.
Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it. There are stories in Hinduism. I don't believe things. There's no belief. Again.
You're so goofy.
Whatever.
So what if I feel some type of way believing in Jesus? I get feelings too.
Fantastic.
Believing in Jesus. So
Keep
it's real.
going. Yeah, I mean, that's your personal experience. So there's some merit to it, for sure.
See what I'm saying? This is ridiculous.
But you telling me there's some feeling that you had about Jesus, and I believe that, that's stupid. I can get inspired, or I wish I want to have a powerful experience like that. But belief means I just take a little clump of concepts and shove it in my mind. I have belief. Yes. Believe.
Have you ever read about Jesus?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you think about it?
I think he's a super wise, spiritual, enlightened guy. Powerful man.
I don't believe you that you read anything about Jesus, honestly.
Bro, I went to the schooling system. I had to read about Jesus. I went to a Catholic school. Jesus, and he was the son of a virgin. She was definitely a virgin. Don't trust her, okay?
Oh my God. That's haram, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just saying, though, I don't want to make this whole thing about Jesus, but I don't think anybody beats Jesus' story, to be honest with you.
Well, that's your own personal opinion. And
whose story is better than Jesus?
Well, I mean, I would say Shiva's story is way better than Jesus.
How? What's Shiva's story? Tell us about it.
Okay. A long time ago, many thousands of years ago, 65,000 years ago, a man appeared in the Himalayas. And he didn't do anything. He just sat. Not for days, for weeks, for months. People will gather around him like, what the hell? What's going on here? But they had things to do. They left. He would sit still. The only way they knew he was alive was because he would start crying. And then 7 guys sat around him for months and just waited patiently because they knew he had something. He was special. When he opened his eyes, he saw these men are like ready receptacles, and he dispensed all his knowledge onto them. After a while, they embodied his knowledge, and they spread around the planet. And that's the reason why we have religion today. All religions.
And what's the name of this guy?
Shiva, the first yogi.
That's the same story that Buddha had.
No, Buddha came way after the Shiva. The Buddha is a small
I didn't say anything about when he came. I said that's the same story.
The Buddha lived in a castle in India many thousands of years after.
And then after that,
something happened.
He sat down for a long time, then he woke up and there were people there. And
for one night, after meditating for years. And he arose to his ultimate realization. Why? Because of the techniques that was dispensed through essentially Shiva, the source of knowledge, or the source of yoga. But again, these are beliefs. I don't know this. This is just some fancy things, some stories. Oh, it's cool. We got to move on from the subject because I'm losing brain cells, and I'm sure you're not too happy about this.
I'm glad you recognize that, because the stories that you're believing in are nonsense. Bro, you're just believing in people. You look up to people who sit down for a long time.
You look up to people that turn water into wine. Like, can you get any gayer than that?
That's way cooler than sitting down for a long time. I look up to people who split the sea, who resurrect. Like, that's way cooler. What kind of a boring story is that? This guy sat down for a long time and he woke up and there were people there. What in the hell? Like, that doesn't, like, why are you okay with believing that people were there after he woke up?
Whatever. This is nonsense. We're not going to get anywhere.
No, wait. I really want to know. Would you, if you saw a guy sitting there, that you would just sit by him?
Wait, what was the question?
If you saw a guy sitting down for a long time.
Yeah.
You would sit by him?
I mean, how long is a long time?
I don't know. Whatever.
Like a couple hours?
Long.
No, what the hell? But if I knew he's
First
sitting
of
there for
all,
months, okay, something's going
first
on
of all,
there.
did he not sleep at all?
Not what
Can you
this.
believe that?
There, I don't believe anything. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Rohan said, "Believe in Krishna."
What I do know for a fact, okay, you gentleman over there, is there is something called as Kailash, and it's in the Himalayas, and it is like it is
God,
the
you're reminding
best.
me why.
It is the best thing on the planet. Go look at a picture of it. Okay, you'll understand.
You're reminding me why I hate you again.
Shut up.
You're, you're literally reminding. Can we just be honest about this sitting down thing?
What is it?
It's not that deep, bro.
It's not that deep.
No.
Okay, I agree. Sitting down.
Why do you guys place?
Sitting down is not that deep. I agreed.
It's not. Why do you guys place such value on people who can sit down for a long?
Can you sit down for 2 hours while moving?
No.
Exactly.
But I also have no desire in it.
Well, that's no one says that you should have a desire to sit down for 2 hours without moving.
You're trying to imply that right now.
I'm trying to imply that people that do sit down for 2 hours, obviously they have some, let's say, disconnect from their body.
I don't think so.
Then what is it?
I think that what happens when they sit down is that they're pretending in their head that they're going somewhere that we can't go without sitting down and closing your eyes. And then they open their eyes and they tell you that they went somewhere that we can't go, and then your dumbass believes it.
Maybe that will be true for 2 hours, but what about 13 days?
Well, that's what happened is, so somebody sat down for 2 hours. Your dumbass thought it was impressive, and then he was like, ooh, I wonder what happened if I do it for 13 days. Then he'll really think I'm impressive.
Okay.
And then what they realize is the longer I sit, I can eventually become a god in their eyes. And your dumbass believed it. How do you not see that?
If they can sit down for 13 days without moving, wow. Even if you pretended to or faked it or whatever, like that's impressive.
Why is that impressive? So what about somebody who works their ass off for years and becomes a bazillionaire?
That's no. What sitting down for 13 days means you've transgressed nature in some ways. You don't go to the bathroom, you don't drink or eat food, you don't sleep. If you work your ass off for years, you go to work 8 hours a day, you go sleep. Like, cool, okay, you're working hard. Good job.
Transcended.
Yes, transcended.
Yeah, so you didn't. The point. So which one is it, Shiva? Because at first you made it sound like it was the difficulty of it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
right?
Yes.
Because we're not going to talk about whether they went to the bathroom, because that would be more of like your theological point of view. I wouldn't believe that they didn't go to the bathroom. That sounds stupid.
Okay, that's
part of the reason why I wouldn't believe the story in the first place. But
so you don't believe somebody can sit for 13 days, but you believe somebody can turn water into wine?
No, what I'm saying, I never said I didn't believe it. I said that's not impressive. There's nothing impressive about it.
Okay.
Like yes, it's difficult, right? But it's somebody picking to do something stupid, that like something difficult that's stupid to do. Okay. That's like me saying like, oh, I opened and closed my door for 13 hours. Like, okay, good for you, dumbass. Like, why did you waste time? Like,
okay. So then what good is turning water, something that actually is healthy for you, into wine, which is basically you throw it on the trash? Why don't you just turn water into shit?
You're right. But this is how I know you didn't read the story about Jesus.
Okay.
And like, I could explain it to you, but I know that your question's rhetorical. So like, I'm not even going to waste your time. But
so both those cases of you turning water into wine or you sitting down for 13 days is you somehow transgressing laws of nature.
Wait a minute. You think what people find interesting about Jesus is that he turned water into wine?
That's one of the things that they find interesting about him.
No,
for sure.
No, it isn't. No,
he walked on water, turned water into wine. That's one of the key things about Jesus.
No,
Okay, then what?
Negative ghostwriter.
That he died and came back, which is not a sacrifice, by the way.
Yes.
It's not a sacrifice if you come back. Sacrifice means it's you sacrifice something. Hey guys, I'm gonna take a little quick.
Jesus.
I'm gonna take a quick break, 3-day break.
Now
Be right
that's
back.
impressive. Now that's impressive. Think about it. If you think somebody is having a hard time sitting down for 13 hours, imagine walking towards your death.
People have done that. Lots of people have done
Nope.
that. More people than sat down. Yes.
Nope. Mm-mm.
People don't commit the S word. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but those people, like, they'd just be like, gone.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ was tortured,
People have been tortured to death.
but not on purpose, not wanting to do it.
Yeah, well, some people
Not like
some people
sign
do.
me up for the torture show.
They know what they're getting into, like exposing the government, exposing bad people.
And and not to make this about Jesus again, but the only thing I'm trying to say is, who are you looking up to, Shiva? Because it seems like you're prioritizing laziness and you're glorifying it. And sure, fine, I may be glorifying Jesus, went to his miserable death, but that helps me in life, because if I can face death the way he faced it fearlessly, that helps me to progress in life. That helps me move forward in life without fear, right?
Mhm.
So what does your thing help you with?
Well, I just want to say that that's good. And you have the right to do
I
that.
know.
And I
Yeah.
also, that's good. That's a very positive life lesson. But you're downplaying the fact that somebody sitting down for 13 days is like somehow lazy. I guess you're not productive in those 13 days.
I'm not saying what it see, like, okay, we already addressed the fact that I think it's lazy, but I'm asking you now, what is it then if it's not lazy?
Because, again, sitting down for 13 days, it's not that you sit down for 2 hours, then go take a drink, take a piss, sleep, then come back and
Okay,
sit.
okay. Shiva, look, how many times have I asked you to get a job? Millions of times, right? And you always say what?
Jobs are for broke people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't want to do it, right?
I'm employed. I have multiple sources of income, but I'm not going and working for somebody. I guess
You're not
I am.
employed.
I am employed.
You're not employed.
I am.
Where? By yourself?
That too, yes.
Where are you employed at, Shiva?
Well, I don't talk about these things. There's no reason for you to know.
Oh
I'll tell
my
you.
God. Anyway, point blank, point is though, you don't want to be employed, right? Just as much as I don't want to sit down. So why wouldn't that be another form of meditation that you can practice?
What? Buddy, I'm not against making money. I'm against going and slaving away at some nonsense that doesn't contribute to my life.
So Shiva, look, I'm not going to let you tap dance out of this. The reason why you're so impressed by somebody who can sit down for 13 hours is because you're implying that it's difficult to do, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what you're impressed by is people doing things that are difficult, things that they may not want to, right? Or that they may not have the patience to do.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, so how is that any different from you going and getting a job? Because it's clearly way more productive. You'd be doing something that you don't want to do, but you'd be getting paid for it.
I have. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter.
He just had a mental breakthrough.
No.
That little chuckle was. Like, oh, shit.
Whenever I hear you say go get a job, it's like go apply to work at Walmart or McDonald's. I will never do that. Never. You understand? But it's not about not making money. I'm making money. I have multiple sources of income right now.
You're lying. You're lying.
Not lying.
You're lying.
Okay.
You're lying. Until you're guilty until proven innocent at this point.
Incorrect. I have at least,
yes.
I'll tell you off the camera, but.
No. Tell us on the camera.
I have 5 sources of income right now.
Bro, please stop the cat, man.
Woo-hoo! I'm really doing
Stop
good.
the cat.
That's my goal till 10. Because millionaires have multiple sources of income. That's the only way you get rich. Really.
See, if you were employed, you would have told me by now. Stop bullshit.
I did tell you, but I don't think you paid attention. Anyways, it's not about.
This is the tell-all hour, so please get it off your chest.
Yeah.
We're not leaving this moment right here. We're
I
sitting in
can't.
the uncomfortable.
I can't really reveal it right now. It's not that I can't. I won't.
Yes, you can. You can, and you will. Here it
But
comes. Boom. Let it out. Just say it.
no.
You will say it.
So the thing about sitting down for 13 hours is not about the difficulty or that somehow things that are difficult is like you have to pursue that. Digging a hole in the ground is difficult. Why don't you go do that, Carlos? It's so hard.
You're
It's
a
useless.
faker.
It's useless.
You're a faker.
There's no reason to
You're
do
a
that.
faker.
And sitting down for 13 days is not about difficulty. It's about transgressing nature, which is
Shiva,
that is
we're
what's
not
impressive.
going to drop the topic of what your employment is. That's it. This is it. This is happening. Say it now.
No, I refuse.
I'm telling every episode from now until eternity about this topic until you say it. Say it. Everybody in Shiva's comment section, if you want Shiva to say it, tell him to say it in the section. Say it, Shiva. I got 5 comments saying say it.
Really? You've been known to lie about these things, so I don't trust you. Should I go to your channel and check?
I put it on Allah.
So, I'm employed by Google. Number 1.
YouTube doesn't count.
Yep. I have my own website.
Keep going.
Number 2. Number 3. I have an employment with somebody that we know mutually, and I'm doing things for them. That's number 3. Number 4, I have employment with somebody else that is doing something else. That's number 4. And number 5, another secret business.
What kind of crap confession is this? This is not what the people came for. Shiva, this is potentially the thumbnail of the video.
Buddy, that's so sad that you think that I'm here being lazy. No, you think that I'm against money. I'm not against money.
I never once said that you were against money.
No, why don't you get a job?
You're claiming to be about doing things that are difficult to do, but you're not.
Incorrect.
That's my point.
That's the assumption you made, which is not true. I don't do things that are difficult. Why?
That's what I asked you. I asked you because the problem is that we're talking about sitting at the end of the day, right? So I asked you, what's impressive about sitting? And then you said, can you do it? And I said, no, because it's difficult, right? So ultimately, behind all the bullshit, you're impressed by doing difficult things or doing things that they
I guess sitting for 13 days.
They would have to endure things, right?
Okay.
So I'm asking you in that same sense, how come you couldn't endure a job when it would actually benefit you more than sitting would?
So the thing with sitting for 13 days, you assumed that it's difficult or you have to grind through sitting for 13 days. Yeah, maybe. And you asked me specifically, hey, is it the difficulty of it that makes you so impressed by it? Yeah, that's one thing, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you transgress, you go above nature. You've gone about transcend, yes, you transcend nature. That's impressive. So people that are sitting for 13 days, either have some mastery over really resilience and pain, or they have gone beyond the little limitations of the body.
Out of all the impressive, difficult things that you can do, if we put them up on a list, wouldn't you say that's the laziest one?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Out of all the difficult, impressive things that you could do, wouldn't you say that that's the laziest one?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Of course you wouldn't.
The laziest one. The guy transgresses human limitations. So lazy. Turning water into wine, so lazy. Why didn't Jesus go and fucking make the wine from grapes himself? Why is he so lazy? Walking on water, go build a boat. So lazy.
You're
Despicable.
so dumb. You literally don't even
You
know the
see?
story.
I turned your right
Jesus,
on your
look,
head.
this is what had happened was, okay? Jesus was at a wedding and they ran out of wine, okay, at the wedding because normally the parents or the family of the bride have to provide the wedding, and when they provide it, it's kind of like showing their like status in the society, okay? And so they ran out of wine, which would have been an embarrassment to their family. And so Jesus' mom comes and tells them they ran out of wine. And to avoid them being embarrassed, he told them that he had to find the solution. And he didn't want to do it, but he made the wine. Walking on the boat or walking on the water, the disciples were on a boat. And Jesus walked on the water and he told the disciple to get off the boat and go in the water. So what are you talking about?
Okay, well, clearly I haven't read the little stories, fairy tales. It's okay. But see, that's the difference between Jesus, the teachings of masters, Jesus versus the Buddha. Because Jesus, somebody died and he's like, oh, it's okay, buddy. Let me bring you back to life. But in the Buddha story, when somebody died, a woman came and grieved her son. He died of sickness. Maybe he could have brought it back to life. Maybe he wasn't capable of that. It doesn't matter. What he said is, go get a bunch of pebbles, or go knock on a house, and every house you knock, get a few grains of rice from them. And if you get 3 grains of rice, I'll take your life. I will bring your son back to life, but only from a family that has never lost anybody. Go do that. She goes knocking. Do you have 3 grains of life? Buddha's gonna bring my son back to life. Oh no, sorry, we've lost somebody. After a few houses, she realized she got some clarity, some wisdom. Instead of getting a little shortcut, guy turning his water into wine. Instead of providing a life lesson, no, let's avoid the embarrassment. Let the people be embarrassed. Why doesn't he have the wisdom to share some knowledge? Hey, it's okay. Life is about things and it's transient, and you can get embarrassed.
And
Okay.
you're gonna regret everything you said
Exactly.
again in a minute.
Okay.
So what happened was the
Got it.
reason why Jesus did that was not because he wanted to keep the party going. Okay. Jesus was living in a time period where people were looking for the Messiah. Whether you choose to believe that or not, that's what was going on in the time around him, right? And he did that basically to indicate that he was the Messiah, which would then lead to his death.
Wow. Lack of strategic planning by him on that part. You really should have thought it through.
He was trying to go towards his death. What are you talking about?
He needed to get some depression lessons then.
I can't believe this is happening. This is so sad.
I know it is.
Hey, but you know how you believe that you came from another life? You were born in a previous life. You know that?
I don't know that for
You
sure, but it's indicated. Yeah, I'm just
okay? Cool. So
yeah.
that's what Jesus taught, basically. So Jesus was trying to tell us that we have another life to go to after this earth, but the problem is people are scared of death. You get that?
Ah,
Yeah. So they live in fear, and so Jesus was basically saying you don't fear. That was the point of him doing that.
So if I go and do it like quickly instead of just waiting for 60 years, that's good. Then I just go to the next life, right?
No, not a
No,
negative ghostwriter.
huh?
Yeah, negative.
Or are there nuances to this?
There's a nuance to this. Yeah.
What is the nuance?
The nuance is that you want to do things that advance the goodness in the world. Let's put it that way. And during that process, you don't have to fear death, no matter what happens to you.
Huh. Okay. Well, thanks, Jesus. That really clarifies lots of things. I'm not afraid of death anymore, Jesus. Thanks. Because
You're lying, though.
you did that 2,000 years ago for me.
You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're still lying.
You, wow, your sarcasm detection is really on point.
That's my point. You're lying.
Okay.
Look, the point is this, bro. At the end of the day, because Jesus did that, it doesn't mean you're not going to be afraid. You're going to be afraid still. But you can like, it gives you something to, to keep you going in those moments.
Inspiration.
It gives you inspiration, just a little bit, that little push that you need.
Yeah, a little pep in your step. I got it. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks. Not sure that was
I mean, but you're sitting there at the same time that a guy told you to sit down. I would rather learn from somebody how to die properly with some class than to learn how to sit down for a long time.
Yeah. Again, it's not. Again, okay? It's not about sitting down properly for a long time. There's no course how to sit down properly for a long time.
Guys,
it's how
sitting down is not about sitting down. Absolutely.
The point is not to sit down, genius. It's to transcend your human nature. If you do that...
Where did you go?
Where did you go?
I'm still looking at
you. To where Jesus went. To where Jesus went. That's right.
I'm still looking at you right here. Look at us, polar opposites, right?
It's an illusion.
You supposedly transcended your human whatever, and I didn't. And look at us here having the same exact conversation.
That's right. So if I transcended my human limitations,
so impressive,
and the time of death comes, it's much less of a catastrophic experience because I already know I'm not the body. I already know I'm not this. There's something more to this. So then...
But you don't need... Listen to me. Listen to me, you little lazy crap. Listen to me, you little lazy crap.
You motherfucker.
If you go out into life and you work and you love and you play and you suffer, you're gonna get rid of that stuff anyway. What do you think life is?
Really? So the people
Goofy.
in the gulag that work 24/7, they're really 100%. Not afraid.
Yes.
They're the wisest masters.
They are.
They're free. Yeah,
they are.
That's a good one. That's a good way of describing
people who
them.
are actually on the sidelines, not doing anything and sitting, they have more to hold on to.
So the people in the gulag are free, and me here sitting in a comfortable first world country, I'm holding on to things.
Yes, let's read the comments for a section. Your favorite guy ever, Southern Mysticism. He says, bro, how can you justify religious beliefs and still think it makes more sense than even the idea of transcending the body? Whoa.
That made no sense to me, but you said, whoa.
No, he's talking to me. He's talking to me and he's agreeing with you, Goofy. What do you mean?
I know he
just said the same thing you just said.
Yeah, wise people usually agree with me, so I don't dispute it.
What did it make sense about that? He said, how can you... He's talking to me. He's literally saying the same thing you just said. How can you be glorified? He's saying, Los, how can you glorify religion over the idea of transcending the body?
Oh.
Shiva's having a
bango. Like, got him, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Show's over. That's it. Give him a few days to think about it. Chinese slave labor.
You're so goofy.
Yeah, the Chinese slave laborers are super detached and...
You're so goofy. They are. That's the thing that I'm trying to explain to you. They are.
They are, yeah.
When you suffer, look,
When you suffer... Hey!
When you suffer...
That's a toy. This
is a blower. When you suffer, what do you think your mind's doing while you're suffering?
It's suffering and you're in pain. That's what's happening.
Yes, and you're trying to detach yourself from that suffering.
If you're wise, maybe. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you're detaching.
That is the default response of the body. When you go through intense suffering, your mind detaches.
Okay. There's a possibility, but it doesn't automatically mean that.
No, that is the default. So you guys are trying to detach without the suffering.
Oh my God. If that was true, then the spiritual path would be suffer so massively, go towards the suffering. No.
That is the spiritual path.
No.
That is the actual spiritual path.
Causing yourself misery and suffering is not spiritual.
No. Because let's think about this. Universal mind, what do they call it? The source in your world decided to put you here, right? And they set up the parameters in such a way where you're going to suffer.
Okay.
right? And they
Yeah.
set it up in a way where you're going to get hungry, you're going to have to eat, and you're going to have to gather resources to feed yourself.
Hmm.
And so they set it up for you to suffer and then lose things, lose your own health, your family's health, everybody, as you go along. So the whole process is set up to make you detached, right? But then you losers came along and said, how can we do this same thing without going through anything and tricking people along the way? And so you losers came out where like gurus and like I'm gonna sit still and people are gonna donate money and we're gonna sit in temples and do this nonsense. It's just a waste of time.
Buddy, there's just so much wrong with that. My brain short circuited for
How? What? Where? Where's wrong with it? What's the contradiction?
First of all, those are just a bunch of beliefs and conclusions you have about life. It's a little mental model you made.
What's
It's
wrong
just not
about
real.
them?
Which is not real, okay? That's number one. Number two, life is set up in a way that there is suffering. Or yeah, you suffer. That's an uncomfortable reality of life. But the job isn't to go suffer more. That's
Yes,
stupid.
it is, because if you suffer more, you will naturally learn how to detach.
Oh, really?
The hell?
So
yes.
the Gulag are full of enlightened masters then. It must be, though.
Yes, they are.
Huh, really?
Yes.
It's full of broken people. If they don't have the strategies and tools and techniques to master in their own minds, you're going to break yourself.
Let's put it this way. So let's put it this way. This happens with meditation too. Not everyone who meditates gets enlightenment,
No, that's true, yes.
right? And some people actually lose their mind.
Correct.
They become broken people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So what's the difference?
So your point?
That there's no difference.
But the overwhelming majority, the people that do it correctly, that meditate,
Same
do
thing with
get
sufferers.
results.
Same thing with sufferers.
Unfortunately, that's not
the
true.
people who go and struggle towards something that is worthwhile, they usually end up getting a good result.
So the problem here
What are
is-
you talking
yeah,
about?
the problem here is that you're following the mental model of Christianity, which the symbology of Christianity is a suffering man being nailed to a wooden stick, which is just horrendous, and thinking that by doing that, by suffering miserably and intensely, you're gonna get salvation, all good stuff is gonna. No, there's no.
I'm not even talking
there's
about
nothing
Jesus
good with
anymore.
suffering.
I'm talking about your job and making something of yourself. Hold on a second. We got a question from Southern Mysticism. He says, have a question for Los. Why don't we ever critically look at originators of Christianity in the same way we argue regarding every? We are looking at it critically right now. So again, what I'm saying, when I look at life, me personally, I think of life as this. There's a time period when I'm bored and I'm dumb as hell. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure stuff out, right? Then I get older. I figure myself out a little bit. I think I know who I am. And then I have to work because people get tired of me freeloading off of them, like my parents, right? Then I have to work. I become a worker of whatever I do. In my case, I became a DJ, and that's who I am now, right? And then there comes a time towards the end of my life, let all that stuff go, right? And that part about letting go is where religion comes in. So you pick your religion on however you think is best going to help you to let things go. I just so happen to like the story about Jesus. What's wrong with that?
The way you just described it, that's perfectly succinct. That's it. Very reasonable.
You're welcome.
Story's over.
So now you're in the phase where you're currently supposed to be working. Okay, you're not in the baby phase, but you never left the baby phase. For you, your entire existence is the baby phase, where you're living with mom and she's taking care of you, and you get to sit there and throw your little tantrums and not work and just sit there and just sit for the sake of sitting. It's ridiculous.
Well, I unequivocally deny everything you said after the part where I'm a baby, which is just not true. I'm a grown man. I'm an adult. I'm not a baby. Okay? And yes, I have fortunate conditions. Does it mean that I have to go and jump into unfortunate conditions? I've tried that. Doesn't work. It's not helpful.
You
healthy.
haven't tried it.
It's about taking whatever you have and continuing going upwards. My style of working or job is not the traditional way of digging ditches in the ground. I can't do that. I won't do that. that's not reasonable or practical for me.
Who's telling you to go dig a ditch?
That's
I'm
what
a
I
DJ. I'm a DJ.
That's
okay?
good.
I would argue that you would kill somebody to be in my position.
I would not do that even for maybe
You
even
get
2
paid
nights. I
to
would do that.
party. You get paid to party.
Tragic.
And I only do it for 2 nights. A
PTSD.
week. No, you're lying.
Maybe. Okay.
You're literally lying.
No, I'm lying.
You're literally lying.
2 nights a week.
You're a
That sounds
liar.
reasonable, but still, that's not
You're
what
just
my
a liar,
passion or my
Shiva.
desire
You know
is.
what? And I can't wait.
I already admit it. Shut up.
Beautiful thing
No.
about this life is that it's gonna get to you anyway. You can bullshit yourself until you're blue in the face. I don't care. One day the shit's gonna hit the fan, and you're gonna wish you did something.
More with my life?
Yeah. And let's talk about now why you're fat. Take your shirt off.
I'm not fat.
Get up right now, go back 10 feet and take your shirt off.
I'm not taking my shirt off on stream. What are you, crazy?
Why are you fat, Shiva? I thought you transgressed.
I transgress the limitations of my body and I can eat whatever I wish.
First of all, the word is not transgressed. I'm trolling you. It's transcended.
It's transmutations.
Oh my God. You didn't do any of them.
I did it.
Why are you
Because
fat, Shiva?
I eat lots of good food and I like it.
Why?
Because
You're suffering. You're masking the hurt.
What?
Let me talk about
I'm
this
enjoying
for a
the
second.
pleasure.
Everybody
I'm
pay
masking the
attention.
hurt, dog.
Again. Shiva is fat right now.
No. Don't say that.
Okay? And the reason why he's fat, and we all know it because we all have moments of doing this, is because we want to mask the big gaping hole in our souls.
I don't have one of those. I clogged it
you
up.
do.
I punctured it up. I sealed it up.
You clogged it up with
Kailash.
pierogies.
Kailash.
Yeah. And so what that says very loud and clearly is that you haven't transcended anything. So what happened to all your heroes that taught you how to transcend and whoop-de-whoop and they sat for 14 hours without eating, pooping, or nothing? Can you do that? Can you go 14 hours without eating food?
Mm-mm. I mean, I can, but I won't. Somebody
So
said
now we're back.
It's Miss Vicky's.
We're back to square one.
It's Miss Vicky's jalapeno chips. If you ever had them, you would understand my struggle. And plus, pierogies are delicious. So I'm not at fault here, okay? Why do they make
So do you
pierogies so
see
good?
how, again, we come back to square one? You're still avoiding suffering at all costs.
Oh my God.
Even in your own bullshit way, even when you pick the laziest way of suffering, you still can't even do that.
So what would be suffering to you? What would be doing? Just not eat and...
No, you should live a life that's worthwhile. Pick something that's worth suffering. Sitting down is not worth it. When you open your eyes, you're still exactly where you were. Nothing changes about your reality.
Oh man.
But if you choose to suffer in a way that actually builds up your life, then maybe you won't be so depressed and eat your way to your death. Hello, Goofy.
Yes.
He's having another moment.
I agree. You should do something worthwhile with your life and pursue something. But suffering is not the strategy.
So go to the gulags, get paid $10 an hour, save it up, especially since you're living in mom's house, and you could be rich.
The gulags don't
This
pay
could
$10
be all
an hour.
yours.
They pay 2 cents a day.
I'm talking about the metaphorical gulag.
Yeah, no thanks. I have a better strategy.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do, buddy.
No.
Anyway, if you ever tasted the flavors of chips, especially Miss Vicky's...
Everybody who knows Shiva, who's been following him for, what, the last 2-3 years? Look at where he's at. He just went full circle back to his mom's house. Do you guys, anybody in his comment section, type in there if you see any progress? Have you seen any progress from Shiva?
Yeah, have you seen any progress with me? Because, in terms of my facial hair, my long hair, my clothing style, because that's what you see.
Type in the comment section if you see stagnation or progress or What's the opposite of progress?
Regress.
Regress.
Goofy.
Tell me if you see progress, stagnation, or regression.
Zen, everybody, Zen has a situation with me and how everybody loves Zen. He says he's gotten worse and that all the chips in video games are destroying this young man.
Ding. Southern mysticism says, bro, this guy went from traveling the world trying to find God to now locking himself in his room and eating.
I love
Jimmy
it.
Crackcorn says regression. Hello, Shiva. Do you see reality smacking you in the face?
No, I choose to ignore reality. I don't see it.
Yeah, this is where, again, you do what you've always been doing, which you close your eyes to reality and you sit there and you try to meditate it away. This is why I tell you.
Meditation
You're
makes
just
the pain
harming
go
yourself
away.
with this nonsense.
Yes, meditation makes the pain go away.
You see, Shiva, this is what happens. This is why you eat. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now.
Tell me.
It's because you're not filling up your time with more productive things, right? So when somebody sits in their room all day, you're faced with your suffering brain, which you have not transcended, and therefore your body just does what it always wants to do and says, hey, if you just eat, you don't have to feel this way anymore.
That's yeah.
Right? And so what I'm suggesting that you should do is fill up your time with more productive things so that your mind can be doing other things. Right? You go to the gym for a couple of hours. You know what I'm saying? You go to your job for a couple of hours, and now you just find that the more you do that, you have less and less time to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might even get to have sex one day. And then it'll be a whole 5 minutes of you not eating.
I don't think I can last that long.
Somebody said you need some fasting with that meditation.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
He ain't gonna do shit. Everybody in the comment section who thinks Shiva should get a job, type it in the comment section. Type a 1 in the comment section if you think Shiva should get a job.
JOB stands for just over broke.
And that's what you are, dummy.
Yes.
What the hell are you talking about? I love how you love to, and then they all apply to you. Shiva, look, nobody's telling you have to work at McDonald's. Get any job. Make a job. Make a job up that fits your every desire. Please.
Yes. Some things are...
You're wasting your life away, man. You really are. You have no idea how to end up for you. You better hope that your mom leaves you like $5 million or something. You better hope.
Somebody said something. Rohan said this. He said this a while ago. He said, "Don't talk about your wife, your money, or your spiritual practices. Talking about them will make them go away."
Oh, please.
That is...
Rohan is on.
reasonable.
Rohan is on. He's on some heebie-jeebie type stuff.
But things...
Tell him to stop being afraid of the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Jimmy Catcorn says he used to work at a mystical shop at one. No, he didn't. Did he lie to you about that? Shiva, you been lying to people?
Every day, bro. That's my specialty.
He said you used to work at a mystical shop at once. Why don't you go back to?
You see, I did. I did that.
Somebody Southern. Why are you saying that? How do you want to repeat this, bro? Oh God, I'm gonna have to read it. Southern says this guy can probably get a job in the spiritual porn industry. I don't even know what that means. What does that even mean? What is the spiritual porn industry?
Well, you're an expert in that, so you let me know.
Jimmy Crackcorn says, I've had to go to the IT route like a lot of people and take tests for some certifications. If I can do that, anyone can do anything. Wow. See, Shiva?
Very inspirational. That is definitely...
That's actually true. Yeah, that's actually true because, there's a bunch of people who don't know how to fix their computers, and you could just be on the phone and be like, "Sir, turn it off for 30 seconds and turn it back on."
Yeah. ChatGPT can do that.
Oh my God.
So
You were saying the same nonsense 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. You could have been working that. And now you have ChatGPT as your ultimate.
exactly.
ChatGPT has come and just validated all of your fears. And now you're like, yes, I knew I shouldn't have been working for the last 30 years of my life.
I have been
Got
working. I had many jobs. Okay. I know that I don't know what it is about you, Carlos, but I guess every time you see me here doing this podcast in my room, I think you expect me to go jiggle a bunch of balls on a unicycle while doing push-ups and printing money, and that would be impressive to you. No, things are happening behind the scenes you can't see. They can't see on this YouTube channel. But am I going to talk about them? Absolutely not. Once they materialize and fully, I'll rub
What's
them
the
right
point
in
of doing this podcast then? If you're just going to be some loser behind the scenes, like you're not what you're doing, I don't even want to talk to you. I thought this was the you know what I'm saying? This was when did it become this?
Yeah,
When did it become this?
this has always been the wise podcast, me trying to educate you in the wisdom of life, and you trying to
You
reject
don't
it.
have wisdom.
Well, some might say I do.
Look. Oh, wait. Southern mysticism says I want to link up with Shiva because I live in Canada too. But he'll probably pull the camera out as soon as he sees me.
That would be the only reason why I would meet up with you, is to record it.
Southern mysticism says he wants to put the pause on you.
Yeah. What do you think he's gonna meet up with you because you're a chill guy? No thanks.
Listen, Shiva, you're just a disgrace to humanity, bro. Honestly,
One day you're gonna face the judgments that you have of me in yourself, because that's where they're coming from, and you're gonna
it's not,
terms,
dude.
come to terms with
No,
that.
it's not. This is coming from because I was you before, and I know how whack it was. Now, like, do you know how? Like, I literally couldn't walk for a year and a half. I just came out of that, and I am just dying to get back to work. You have no idea how much I want to go back to work now.
Okay, dying for something is
I'm
not
dying to go to work. Yeah, dying. Of course, you're gonna just nitpick at what words I show.
Got him.
You're such a loser.
Got him, motherfucker. Got him.
I'm dying to get back to work right now.
Then good. Then go. Okay. Not everybody's like you.
Look, Jimmy Crackcorn says, "I believe in you, Shiva. At the true core of your being, I believe in you."
Hey, respect. That's a man that gets it.
Stop the cap, Shiva. You know damn well there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. That's it.
Nothing impressive anyway.
Yeah,
I know that.
It's just downhill. This is as high as I'm gonna go if I ever climbed anything. And so you might as well unsubscribe now, and that's it. I reached the peak.
Look, bro. This guy is just copying Sadhguru word for word. He's just a copycat.
Yeah, who said that? My arch nemesis?
Yes.
Yeah. Southern mysticism.
Don't hate.
Yeah. Do I copy Sadhguru? Maybe some things that I say that I copy, but I don't want to copy him. I'm taking that out of my vocabulary. I want to have my own experiences.
There's not much.
Shut up.
In this,
let me finish.
In this nonsense world that you're in, there's not much to do. You all end up copying each other. Not much to it.
But at the same time, Sadhguru is a very wise man, maybe the wisest man on earth right now. And of course, I'm going to incorporate lots of things that he says into my life. So
wise.
Yeah, that's right. So wise.
You know, even Sadhguru works.
It works a lot, yeah.
But you don't.
No, I don't. It's icky to me.
So you only take the laziest parts out of people. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Listen, Shiva, I feel sorry for you, okay? I've literally died and came back to look, I literally was working, died, came back to life, and I'm about to go work again.
Wow, you're like Jesus.
And you still haven't worked once. You're unbelievably sad.
Yeah, well, it's okay. The cure
Round
for
of
sadness
applause for the amount of sadness that you are.
The cure for sadness, Carlos, is go stimulate yourself with a movie, maybe eat some good food.
No,
and you'll
it's not.
overcome your sadness.
That's literally what you're doing. You're watching movies and eating food to overcome your sadness. Meanwhile, I'm about to go
I
live
don't have sadness.
a rock star life, being a DJ.
Why can't everyone become a DJ and live a rockstar life like you? Like, why are people so stupid? Who cares if they
Not
want
because
to
they're
live
stupid.
peacefully in the woods or in the mountains or in the ocean? They need
Not
to do
because they're
exactly what you
stupid.
need to, what you're doing. Playing
Not
CIA
because they're
music,
stupid.
discordant sounds in a nightclub, distorting your sleep schedule. But hey, at least you're getting paid money to buy a fucking live in a box. Like, holy shit, that's the American dream right there.
Shiva, at the end of this stupid uh, journey that you're on, you want the same things that I get.
Woohoo!
You want money, you want girls, you want status, you want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I get all that by being a DJ.
Yes.
And I can get all that like in a matter of weeks. And then you tell me how long it's going to take you sitting down, not doing anything.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna go and learn to become a DJ now because you've changed me. You've convinced me. I think that's the way to solve my life's issues is to become a DJ and work 2 days a week. Work hard.
Think about that for a second.
That's it.
I don't even. I was gonna say I sacrificed 2 days, but I literally enjoy the fuck out of 2 days, partying and playing music, and then I get paid nice for it, and then I have the whole rest of the week to do what you, but like better because I have money after the fact.
That's really good. I applaud you for that.
And then I go to the gym. I could play soccer. I could buy things. I
That's
could not
awesome.
live at my mom's house.
That's
And
great.
you're gonna tell me that that's not a. What sucks about that? Jimmy Crack Corn says, Los back in the mix. Not everyone can be a DJ. I've seen a few get booed. Yeah, you get booed sometimes. Part of the game.
Yeah, Carlos knows all about that. He's a bomb expert.
Honestly, I've never gotten booed, honestly, but that's besides the fact.
You know what? Honestly, yeah. I'm trying. Yeah.
You suck, Shiva. Like I honestly look, let's say this for look, let's be honest, okay?
Let's be honest.
When it comes to the veganism debate, you win on that one, okay?
Shocker.
But when it comes to this, I think I win. We can agree. I've got I got the better stance on this. Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's say this. If you found a thing that was fulfilling for you, that paid you money, that you loved doing, why wouldn't you do that?
you wouldn't not do that. You would do that.
You would do that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not saying the proverbial you. I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that?
I am doing that.
You would do that.
Anyways,
You're not, though.
I am.
What is it? What is it?
a one small fraction is this channel, YouTube.
But that's not it, though. This is not it.
How is it not it?
It doesn't, bro. Getting on YouTube does not like light you up. That's why you stopped doing it for such a long time because it wasn't doing it.
Oh, then it's DJing. Do you think you have the secret formula? It's DJing. I need to go into DJing and not YouTube.
DJing is fun as fuck. Yeah. Somebody said, Jimmy Crack Corn said, keep your Sadhguru outfit on and DJ Hindu parties in Toronto. Hey.
Yeah, there's a suggestion. No, I don't like to leave the house, so it won't work for me. Anyway,
I don't have no more words for you, Shiva.
do we have any other topics, or are you gonna just continue braiding me on to copy your lifestyle and do what you do?
I think everybody should copy my lifestyle, honestly.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's 10 people watching. Let us know in the comments. You have questions, comments, suggestions, or what we talk. Oh yeah, somebody wanted us to talk about sexuality and spirituality. Well,
Really?
I don't have much experience in the first, but on the latter, expert.
Really?
Yeah.
Spirituality and sexuality? What does that mean?
Like spiritual sexuality.
Listen, guys, there is no spiritual sexuality, okay? There's just animalistic sexuality. And yet, once you figure that out, that makes you spiritual.
Wow.
Right? Right.
Way to loop it around and confuse them. That was good.
the most spiritual thing you can do is realize that.
Wow. Textbook. Textbook.
So good.
That was good. And if that was confusing, let's move on to the next subject. What else? Any other
I'm being
topics?
serious. No, I'm being serious, Shiva. Realizing that you're an spiritual thing.
Agreed. But you're not only an animal. You're more
Oh
things.
wait. Somebody said he should marry the crazy Miriam and have kids. Yo, somebody left a comment on one of my old videos recently, and they said that we should do. That's what people said, that we should do a topic about the, I guess, the current issue of cults that's happening in society. He's saying that he's seeing a surge in the emergence of cults, and that he wants you specifically and me to talk about it. I guess to kind of like help people avoid those pitfalls.
Mm.
And
That's a
Jimmy
good.
Crack Corn says, I forgot about that crazy bitch. Haven't we all, Jimmy Crack Corn?
Yeah. That lady.
She definitely had a moment, but that moment came and went.
She's suing me.
No, she's not.
But yeah, we'll talk about that. Actually, that's a good thing. Cults and why you should be in one. Yeah, and the strategies they use.
And why you're in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a video I watched, like 6 common characteristics or traits of somebody that's in a cult, and one of them is you can never question the leader. You can never
That's
criticize.
You can't criticize that guru.
I can actually. There's 3 things I can criticize him about. Number one is his
Not
promotion
in a
with
meaningful way.
his promotion with a jab. That was questionable. Number 2 is
His what?
promoting the jab when it first happened.
Sadhguru promoted the jab?
He was like, yeah.
What a loser.
Yeah. Number 2 is his
Oh, man.
like kind of defending milking cows, which is kind of weird. You got to be vegan. And number 3 is
Wait. Why did he defended milking cows?
somebody asked him like, "Hey, why don't you just leave the cows alone? Why do you need to milk them?" He's like, "Well, but what are you gonna do? What's better? You want to slaughter them? No, we gotta milk them."
Wait.
So,
Sadhguru milk?
he's not like restrictive about it. He eats ice cream occasionally, but he's not vegan.
God.
Yeah.
Look at how uncomfortable that makes you. Are you okay?
I'm sad. I cry.
Look at somebody said, I haven't seen YouTube for a while. Your health looks blessed, man. I'm happy to hear you're doing okay. Bless you. Yes, Nelson, I'm back. Not in full force, but just about. Thank you for that. Somebody said, why is she suing you? Did that other guy actually sue Shiva? Remember that other loser that wanted? Why do all cult leaders want to sue? Is that a thing? You have bad luck with cult leaders, because Miriam wanted to sue you, that other guy wanted to sue you, and said Guru kicked you out of his boot camp. So not even cult leaders want you. Southern Mississippi says, yo, what was your debt for medical bills? Is it now a time to go for Medicare at all? Luckily I have insurance right now. As far as I know, I don't have any debt with medical bills. I do have a small debt that I had for a couple of days when I didn't have insurance, but it's not bad right now. I only have to pay the premiums or whatever on my taxes for like the monthly bills for having insurance. So shout out to Obama for that one. Let's see. Nelson or Jimmy Crackhorn says they gave him some Gilgamesh blood transfusions. Yeah, that's what they gave me. Anyone that gets called unenlightened, they sue you. That's true.
Keep in mind, I
Yeah.
also got kicked out of the New Zealand ashram. So that's 3 for 3 or 4 for 4.
Oh, dude, you actually got kicked out of the. You suck as a damn fanatic.
Yeah, I gotta be a better follower. This is tough.
You literally, even when you pick this terrible lifestyle, they know still want you. That's crazy.
Yeah,
How does it feel to be a failure in all realms?
I guess I should have not questioned him. I
You're,
guess there's too much questioning or breaking the rules.
you're the master of sucking.
Yeah.
No, seriously, nobody can suck as much as you. Guys, did you hear that? For anybody who doesn't know this, but this is what it is, okay? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, Southern. So Shiva sucked at life from all eternity, right? Since the beginning of time, he sucked at life. So then he figured out that he couldn't improve his life, so he figured that he wanted to transcend his life, right? And then he started going down this spiritual route where he wanted to become a guru, right? And so he left mom's house, went to Australia. Nothing happened there, so he went to New Zealand, where he found some guy who gonna let him own a piece of land to start up his ashram. Somehow ended up pissing that guy off. He gets kicked out of there. So then he goes to India, where it's like the pinnacle, right, of spirituality in Hinduism. He tries to go meet said guru, but you had a weapon in your backpack or something, right, Shiva? And so he gets banned from said guru land. Then where'd you go after that?
To Kailash.
To Kailash. He went to some mountain. Nothing happened there, and then he ended up back at mom's house. And now he still sucks. Wow, so spiritual.
Thanks, man.
What a beautiful journey.
I
And that
appreciate it.
whole time he didn't have any love, no experiences, just like airports. Wow.
It is what it
I'm jealous
is.
of you.
Hey, it's all right. Don't be too jealous.
Dude, you need to, bro. I don't know what, bro. I swear I don't know what. Um,
Yeah, you're not the first one to try to
this is
work on me.
terrible. I don't know how. You know what? One thing I could admirable, your tenacity to somehow still see this through. like, 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 your life has just like sucked on every level. You're like, I'm still right. You have reached another level of dumbass at that point.
Uh, uh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so Southern, so yeah, so to clarify on the story from him getting kicked out of said group spot, he signed you did you sign up for something or you just went?
I just went.
So you went to the what is it called? The
Isha Yoga Center.
Isha Yoga Center. He went to the Isha Yoga Center, the Isha Yogurt Center, where Sadhguru is. He was in there. He was just behind the veil. He almost got there. But when he tried to get through security, and this is serious, I'm being honest here. He had his backpack, right, Shiva? Is that what it was? Your backpack. And security makes you take your stuff out the bag or whatever. And they checked his bag, and he had a pocket knife in there or something?
An underwater diving knife.
Underwater diving knife, which he used to cut watermelons. And, they had signs everywhere saying you're not trying to smuggle in, and they banned him for that.
Yeah. Fortunately,
Just don't. I just don't get how you don't see that. Like the universe is trying to tell you, like,
Wow.
bro, this ain't it. Get out of here.
Wow, I'm just thinking about this now. Actually, I was fortunate that it happened. Because if you're inside the Isha Yoga Center, they don't allow you leave to travel the Mount Valangri Mountains. And at that particular time, that was the only time that it was open. It's open for like 2 or 3 months. So the fact that I got banned and had to stay at a hotel, what now
What do
allowed
you
me
mean?
to go up the mountain.
What do you mean they don't let you leave?
Meaning that, like, you say, "Hey, I want to go to the town and eat some food." No, no. You either you're basically getting removed from the place and you go rent a hotel, and next tomorrow you can apply again, or you stay here until you finally
For
check
how
out.
long?
For as long as you want. You stay there as long as you want, but if you leave, you leave. So they're basically protecting you in a way.
How is that not a cult?
Bro.
What? I don't know what I'm listening to right now. You're telling me you're going to a place where they're against you
Yes, it's like
and
if
they
you're
make you face the dire consequences.
no, it's like if you're in a retreat, a spiritual retreat or whatever, they don't want you to leave the premises until the thing is done. So if you say, "Oh, I want to go into town and observe the thing," no, well, like, what are you here for, buddy? You stay, complete your thing, then go. But if you want to go,
What's the
then
thing? Is there certain classes or programs that you're signing up for?
yeah, there are definitely lots of classes. There's lots of temples there. It's a whole energetic space.
Uh, so
Yeah,
they're getting you for your money.
it's like it's not expensive at all. It's India,
Yeah, because it's India,
but it's worth
but it's still significant to them. That's
it.
so funny. You're getting got in India.
Everything costs money, bruh.
I get it now. That makes sense.
I'm glad you understand. All right,
Well,
folks. There's 9 people
we're gonna
here.
see you guys in another 20 years, and Shiva will still be a mom. What?
Yeah, maybe one day I'll be a DJ and live up to Carlos's dreams with me. But
Be a DJ, learn, love, live, cry, lose. Get
yeah.
in the arena, Shiva.
And tomorrow, stay tuned. We'll go live, probably, maybe, and record a video on cults and why it's important to be in one. I mean, why you should never join one, and what are the things to look out for inside of a cult.
Yes. On that note, I thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody who was commenting. If you guys are still watching, make sure you hit that like button for us. So I expect to see 20 likes on the video by the time this is done. And yeah, let us know what you guys want us to talk about next time as well. Glad I got to catch part of the stream. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Southern. Thank you, Nelson. And yeah, so this is what's going to happen now. Because now that I'm back to walking and living a semi-normal life, we're going to see, I want everybody to remember this episode. This is basically ground zero episode. And we're going to see in a year's time what happens with my life and what happens with Shiva's life, and then we'll see who made the right decision.
Yeah, boy. Somebody says that your mic sensitivity is too low. It's cutting off your words.
Whose? Mine?
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, you're saying, and then after a few said words, I can't hear you.
Really?
Yeah.
Me right now?
Yeah.
You've been talking fine with me this whole time.
I know, but from my end, some words you get cut off when you're speaking. That's a good.
The cat, really?
Thank you for mentioning that. That's good. I would have.
You know what? Okay, what about now, Shiva? What about now? What about now? What about now? What about now?
It seems to be fine, but we would have to talk for length.
Let's talk for a little bit, because I just turned off the noise gate, which I think did it. See, Jimmy Crackcorn says low sounds fine. Why are you lying?
Okay, now the last word cut out. You'll watch.
Hello.
Say like a sentence or two, and let's see.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carlos, and I'm sitting here with Shiva podcast, and she was a loser.
So Shiva, Kailash, Shambho cut out, and everything else was there.
What the freak? That's got to be on your side, dude. That can't be mine. Everybody else is saying that you're not smart.
Okay, maybe it doesn't mind. I don't know, but that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like this video, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for everybody. Peace and love. Bye bye.